My opponent was 8 years old. Let's see how did it go. He did not have many games on the internet and we played this variation. So we started with d4, d5, c4 and c6. Even though he did not have any games, he only had one game where he kind of played Slav defense. So I checked my games, what mistake I have done in previous game, and I fixed that. And let's see. Knight on f6, e3, e6, knight d2, knight d7, bishop d3, bishop d6. Exactly same variation what I played on the first round, so I already knew my mistake. Castle, castle, e4, e5, take, rook e1, which I did correctly. Queen c7, as my first opponent played, he did same also. I took d5, he took d4, and knight on e4. That's how I played now, and previously I played knight c4, which was a mistake. Knight on e4, bishop b4, bishop d2, bishop takes d2, queen takes d2. This was my mistake. I should have played here d6, and he would probably play queen b6, and then I would take on queen d2, and this game is already big advantage for me because d4 pawn is weak, d6 is protected. For example, if he takes, I'm going to take with rook, and if he takes queen d6, I'm going to take with rook, and look at my position is totally amazing because my pieces are super active. Unfortunately, here I rushed, and instead of playing d6 tempo move, I took a bishop with queen. I still have advantage here, but well, it would be much better to play d6. He played knight d5, I took knight on d4, queen on f4, and queen e2. Instead of queen e2, here would be also good to play queen on a5, attack knight on d5, and then ideal rook d1 probably. And I have big activity in the center. So I played queen e2, knight e5, and bishop c2. I wanted to remain this bishop in order to attack king. Knight g4, g3, attacking queen, and I already got big advantage here because look at black's pieces. He has not developed his pieces properly. These knights are hanging, and that's why I have big advantage. I only need to develop rook from a1 and I'm good. Queen on h6, h4. Well, h4 idea was to play knight g5 in order to attack h7 pawn. That's why, but instead of h4 there was moves like knight on f3, probably to take back knight and play knight g5, but I still preferred h4 move. b6, the biggest mistake here. Instead of b6, he should have played queen b6 because otherwise queen gets stuck on h6 after knight g5, but he probably did not see that and played b6, which is mistake. After knight g5, I am totally winning. Instead of knight g5, there would be moves like bishop b3 also attacking knight on d5, but both moves are winning. Knight g5, g6, and bishop g3, bishop b3. And instead of bishop b3, queen on f3 would be much better also, but it's still same thing, like bishop b3, knight f6, and knight c6. Now, he played bishop on f5. I was calculating that he would play bishop d7, but then I'm just simply taking a knight. He's going to take, and I'm going to play knight on e5, and knight g4 is hanging here. So yeah, but bishop f5 is totally losing because queen d1. Queen d1's idea is to attack knight, and he can't defend with rook d8 because this knight is taking this rook. And if rook on e8, I'm just simply going to take, and bishop d5, and I'm winning piece. So instead of queen d1, I was also thinking queen d2, but I didn't like queen d2 because he would have bishop on e6, and I can't take with knight. Even though this is still winning after rook on e6, f takes e6, and knight e4. This is win also, even though I sacrificed exchange. This king is weak, queen is trapped, and knights are hanging. So that's why I played queen d1, knight c7, and now it's win, knight on f7. So if he would take it, I would just simply take and play rook on e7, and just simply take back knight on c7. It's totally win. So queen on h5, queen takes h5. I calculated here checkmate, take, and knight g5. He has to play king on h8, rook e7, and knight on e6. And after rook on h7, king g8, and knight on e7, checkmate. That's how I won in 29 moves and in around 2 hours against my opponent, who was very small, 8 years old, and it was a nice game. I hope you enjoyed with this video, and if you like, make sure to give thumbs up and subscribe my channel.